I think there's some people that it just in their bones they have to make something, and like the whole maker movement, I think that's great. And there's just like we like creating things, and it's just kind of in us to do it. My name is Gunnar Turnquist. I'm 20 years old. I grew up in Reddington, New Jersey, and I go to Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston. I would best describe my passion as modding. I would describe modding as something technical. You take something apart, you modify it, usually with coding or soldering. I first got interested in modding in 8th grade. I was doing Xbox 360 modifications. I would just like basic things, replacing the LEDs with different colors, doing rapid fire mods for Call of Duty, and just basic stuff. But I think that's the most important thing, because to do basic things you need to develop your skill set. Mainly my modding career is taking me really deep into portabilizing now. So the concept of a portable console is that you have a video game console, you have the controller, a screen, batteries, speakers, and this is all modded and put inside an enclosure. My first N64 portable took me maybe around 5 or 6 months to build, and this thing it was a fire starter.
Hello, this is my newest N64 portable. It has a 3.5-inch LCD screen, a 3DS analog stick, a DS Lite D-pad. These are actually the C buttons, even though it says ABXY on it.
And I don't have it anymore. That's kind of something I wish I never did. Normally whenever I finish a project, I end up selling it on eBay or to someone I know. But it would be nice if I still had my first Nintendo 64 portable, so I could look back and compare how bad it was to my newer stuff I'm doing. So I first learned how to do modding, reading on forums. I'd see at other people's projects they do and kind of study their process. And then at some point I wanted to do my own projects. The modding community is a very unique community because you can have a 40-year-old who is a whole lot worse at modding than, let's say, a 12-year-old. It's really not about age, it's about your passion and how much practice you have in it. I first joined YouTube when I first started modding. I needed a platform to share a hands-on experience with the things I was building. My channel is called GMan Mods. I've been doing it since, I think, 2011, and I have almost 43,000 subscribers. At first, I didn't have a lot of followers, maybe like 10 or 20. Yeah, people were watching them, and then I remember one day I had like 400 subscribers, and then after that, it just took off. More and more people were watching my stuff, and it doesn't seem like it's growing still, but in a year it's doubled in the subscriber base. I've had a lot of people like write articles on my work and without permission. I mean, that kind of bugs me a little bit, because no, they're putting things out there that I didn't get permission to. The most interesting thing I've had written about me was there's a Portuguese YouTube channel, and they discovered my PS2 portable, and I don't know if it was a language barrier or something, but they thought my PS2 portable was a legit made by Sony.
Fala galera, você está no Gameplay RJ, quem fala com vocês é o David Jones e as notícias de hoje são PlayStation 2 portátil.
And I used Google Translate, and I figured out the video. They thought I was a Sony engineer.
Aí que lançou um vídeo, eu vou deixar o link do vídeo na descrição, mas vocês podem ver imagens agora que eu tô passando. Conseguiu criar um PlayStation 2 portátil.
I mean, I thought that was pretty hilarious. I didn't say anything to them. Just let it be. It's funny. I never asked or expected to be like a big success in YouTube. I like showing off my work to people, and no, I've never asked people to like or subscribe. I think if they don't like it, that's fine. If they do, then that's good too. When you're good at specific things, people will pay money for it. And even if like basic things like Xbox 360 controller mods, I mean, they were pretty basic for me, but people wanted to pay money for it. And it was great for me because I could use the money to better myself, get better equipment, and work on the next project. I don't really consider it a business, more of like a paid hobby. If I'm not having fun making the projects, then there's really no point. I become interested in something, I'll do research and I'll build it myself. You know, once you lose the passion, there's no point in it. A 3D printer is just like a 2D printer, but it's in 3D. Over the years, I've gone through quite a few 3D printers. Let's see, I got my first kit build, and after that, I used the printer to print parts for my next printer, and that was kind of an experimental design. It didn't really work well, and I probably went through maybe like 5 or 6 3D printers over the last couple of years. So I first discovered the synthesizer. It was because of Google. The Google Doodle of the day was a Mini Moog synthesizer, and I didn't know what any of the knobs did, but I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So I started doing a bunch of research, and for one thing was for sure, as I really wanted a synthesizer. Your entry-level synthesizer may cost $1,500 to $10,000. I was maybe 16 or 17 when I first discovered synthesizers, and that was just like unattainable, but I still wanted one. So then I was researching how to make your own synthesizer, and then I got onto something. So this synthesizer here, this was one I made. It took about 2 years to make. I started it when I was in high school, then it carried on, and I finished it like sophomore year of college. So after I made the synthesizer, I became really interested in the company Moog Music. When I was working on the synthesizer, it was always my dream to work at Moog Music and be an engineer there. So I ended up cold emailing Moog, and I told them all about my story of how I built my synthesizer, and then I asked for an internship, and then yeah, like 45 minutes later I got a response, and they wanted me to come down for an interview, and I was just ecstatic. I never believed anything would come of this. I think my long-term goal is to have my own business and be my own boss. I like working for myself and doing commissions on my own. Something I wish more people knew about modding is that anybody can get into it. You don't have to be a genius or an engineer to make a portable console or any kind of mod you see on the internet. All you need is, you know, go to Walmart, get a $15 soldering iron, and just start soldering. It's not that hard. Anybody can learn it.